What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Mydei pre-farm guide. When it comes to Ascension and trace level of materials, HSR has actually made it very easy with this build target function that they added. It's a small quality of life update that they did to the whole character upgrade stuff, that you can pretty much choose whatever character you want, and it tells you what you need to farm and how much you're missing of every material. So for instance, I need to farm whatever these balls, like the Tracks of Destiny. I need 6 of those. These I'm in the process of getting, and these I'm going to get to them when I clear the story. But essentially, we don't have to harp too much on this part because the game kind of tells you what you need to farm. So that's that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the fun stuff, which is the build and what relic sets and planar sets you should be farming for Mydei. Obviously, the Scholar set is looking to be his best in slot. Mainly because it gives you crit rate, which he doesn't need too much of because he gives himself 48% already. However, you still need to get to about 80%. So if you use Sunday, for example, you can get that 100% crit rate, which is the target. That's what you want. Aside from that, it gives your skill and ultimate damage by 20%. It is a damage bonus, which is very, very good. And it also enhances your next skill after you use your ultimate by 25%, which makes it a 45% damage bonus on your Godslayer Be God if you timed your ultimate correctly, which is an insane damage bonus here. His secondary best in slot set is going to be the Disciples Prosthetic Eye, which is the Longevous Disciple set, aka the HP set or the Blade set. Naturally gives you max HP by 12%, which is something that he really wants, and also gives you a little bit of crit rate, 16% crit rate if I'm to be exact, whenever you consume your own HP, which is every attack that Mydei does consumes his HP. It's okay, it doesn't really amplify your damage by that much because it's only giving you max HP when it comes to amplifying your damage. So this set in particular falls off about 4 to 6% from the Scholar set. So this set is 4 to 6%, no, 48% better than the Longevous Disciple. So if you can farm this set, it's probably going to be better. But if you have busted out Blade relics, then by all means use them. If your substats are better than the Scholar set, then you may make up for the 4% that you're losing by just having the different set. Hopefully that makes sense and I'm not confusing anybody. We're going to discuss the planar sets next, and then after that we're going to be going over the main stats for all the pieces. An interesting part with Mydei's calculations that we found out is that normally we would have been farming the new Bone Collector set, which is this one right here, that gives you max HP by 12%, and when you have 5k HP or higher, you get crit damage by 28%. This is a very, very good set for Mydei, and naturally we believed that that was going to be his best in slot set. However, upon further testing and more calculations, we figured out that Relic Arena actually is a little better, 6 to 8% better than the Bone Collector set. It gives you crit rate, which again, you don't need a lot of, but between the 8 crit rate from here, the 8 crit rate from the Scholar set, and then the his own crit rate, you're already sitting at a hefty like 64% crit rate. If I'm doing the math correctly in my brain right now, it's 16 plus 48, which is about 64%, I think. So you're sitting at 64% crit rate already. You haven't even taken into consideration any of your substats, and also you haven't even taken into consideration the main stat. If you choose crit rate, you can actually be at almost 100% if you get decent just one roll on crit rate. So you don't really have to focus too much on crit rate here. However, the Relic Arena also gives you a 20% scale damage, and the majority of Mydei's attacks are all skill based. You literally cannot use your basic attack because he's always on auto. Once you are in your Vendetta state, you have no choice. You have to use your skill, and that's all you can do. So this naturally makes for a really, really good set. So for those of you who have Imbibe Lune or Build Up a March or Blade, you can pretty much swap Blade's relics over for all those people that have Blade like myself. The only thing, and this is a great segue to start discussing the main stats, is that the orb has to be HP if you're running fast. It can be imaginary if you're running a slow setup, but we're going to go over that a little bit later on in the relics when I show you the actual numbers. The rope is actually going to be HP as well. There's no reason to run energy regen rope, because even if you do run energy regen rope, a lot of people are going to be running Sunday with Mydei, so the energy regen rope doesn't help you get any extra energy breakpoints if you add it or take it away. So it's really it's inconsequential to run the energy regen rope. So here, 100% of the time you want HP. For boots, you have 2 different builds. I recommend farming one of each because they're different depending on what supports you're using. So we have speed boots, obviously for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons, you want to run him faster than your Sunday, and if you also run Sparkle with him, which it's going to be a lot of surprises. Sparkle actually works phenomenally well with Mydei, but we're going to cover that in a different video. So you can run speed boots to run that Sparkle Sunday combo, or you can run Sparkle Tribby or Sunday Tribby, and it works. Also, if you run him slow, you can run HP boots, which I don't currently have. I think I have one. Yeah, I actually do. So I have these speed boots that I can also run on him, or whatever setup I want to run with Mydei. I have speed and I have HP, so you can just pick and choose depending on what supports you have. But again, we'll discuss that in a later video. And then the chest, you want to really maximize your crit rate. So if you can get to about 80% crit rate with, and then you have Sunday, then you reach 100%. If not, try to get it to about as close to 100% as you can. And then after that, you can focus on crit damage. You could also run HP chest here as well, but you are going to need really correct out crit substat rolls in the rest of your kit to make that work, because you don't want him to miss crits. All right, and finally, as far as substats, you mainly want to focus on crit rate, crit damage, and then HP. And then also, if you are interested in running the speed build or the faster Mydei build, you can also try to focus on speed. But I understand there's a lot of substats here involved. In everything, when it's all said and done, you would have to focus on crit rate, crit damage, HP %, and speed. Which is a lot to ask for, right? But those are the stats that you really want to focus on. I would recommend focusing more on crit rate, crit damage than HP %. And another thing with Mydei is that you really want to focus on trying to get as close to 8,000 HP as you can before Vendetta, okay? That is very, very important. In this current build that I have, and I'm only missing one piece, I don't have a orb right now. My build is at 7950, so I need about 50 more HP to get to 8k. It's really hard without the extra 12%. If I had the 12% from the Bone Collector set, I would have gotten to 8k, but I just have to make up with HP % rolls. All right, to kind of go and break down a little bit of the math behind it, we have Scholar Bone here as the baseline for pretty much everything. So if you see, each of these squares right here is a different setup for a Mydei team. As you can see, this one is Tribby plus Sparkle plus Sustain, Tribby plus Sunday Fast. And when you say Sunday Fast, it means like Sunday at 160, and then Sunday Slow would be 134, and then Mydei at 135. And then this is running an Imaginary Planar set. This is with a HP Planar set. And then over here is with the HP Planar and Blade Lycone on a slow Sunday setup with Tribby. So if you can see, in almost every single case, running the Rudolin Arena is going to end up dealing more damage than the Bone Collector counterpart. And even, let's say for this team, for example, even running Disciple on Rudolin equals more, or gives you more damage than running Scholar and Bone Collector. That tells me that in any case, if you can farm the Rudolin Arena for Mydei, that is going to be the best way to optimize the damage the majority of the time. But all in all, like, the worst you can do is lose about 2.5% of damage here. Like, the worst you can do is Disciple Bone, and it's 2.5% less than the Scholar Bone. So like, realistically, it doesn't really matter. If you have better substats, you can theoretically make up for that 2.5% that you're losing from the planar sets. But as I said before, Rudolin Arena is almost always going to end up being better. I think the only one that we found to be worse is on the Blade Lycone. If you're running Disciple, that's the only one that is worse than just running Scholar and Bone. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you going to pull for Mydei? Like, what is your relics looking like so far for your Mydei, if you're going to pull for him? Also, join us live on twitch.tv/iSUMMON for account reviews and doing calcs like this live. So until next time, guys, see ya.